You're listening to Creating a Universe, a Love Anarchy podcast hosted by William J. Rogers. On this show, we follow the journey of creatives, artists, and entrepreneurs who are making a name for themselves in the ever-evolving landscape of today's industry. Featuring an insight into both Love Anarchy and the LovAnaverse music universe, as well as the individual projects and stories of each of our guests, from the music industry and beyond. So whether you're a budding creative or simply interested in what goes on behind the scenes, this is the podcast for you. Hello and welcome to Creating a Universe. I'm your host, William J. Rogers, and today I'm here with frontman of the industrial thrash metal band Mindistry, Mr. Gustaf Hammarin. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Greetings from Mindistry HQ, position 205, Sweden.
All right on, man. Cool, man. It's great to finally get to have this chat for the podcast, man. It's been chatting for a while. It feels like it's long overdue.
It feels like we've been talking about it for 6 months. Right?
Yes. Yeah, man. I don't think it's been quite that long, but it does feel like it, man. I mean, I got so backed up on my schedule and I've wanted to do this one for ages. So, yeah, man, I'm happy to finally here now.
It's so weird to be in like a record position. You know,
Yeah.
what you talk and we chat, you know, and now it's like, oh, no. Now it's business, son. I got to act.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, we normally like to keep it fairly casual anyway, but
Of course.
we'll get into it and it'll loosen up. But I mean, the best place to start though, for like people listening and whatever is, would you be able to just give a bit of an overview as to who you are, Mindistry, and the various things you're doing?
It's the funnest thing and the hardest thing because it feels like one of those, you know, when you're in a new class and you get to know each other and they're like, okay, what's your name? Gustaf G. Say something you're good at with the letter G. It feels like one of those things, you know, get to know. No, but I am Gustaf. My Zoom handle is Gustaf Thunderhammer, apparently. Gustaf Hammarin, only member of Mindistry, industrial thrash metal from Gothenburg, Sweden. Not supposed to be a one-man band, mind you, but it somehow fucking is. Maybe it's because I'm a bad guy. Maybe I can find bandmates. Or, no, yeah. It's me. I am Mindistry right now. And it's going good, man. I'm having a re-release.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. We're re-releasing the first album with the exact same setup as well. Me on the vocals and the rhythm guitar. And all the instrumentals are already set. Like, you know, Felix is producing again. We're recording with Felix, who produced the first album. And his big brother, Christopher Borg, is mixing. It's the exact same setup. It's going to be the exact same killer sound in English.
Cool. Right on, man.
It is.
So to give a little bit more context then, right? You've got the debut album that came out last year.
About a year ago.
Yeah,
Yep.
About a year ago. And it's all in Swedish.
Yeah.
You're obviously hailing from Gothenburg.
I do.
Yeah. So you wrote the whole thing in Swedish and now you are translating it and releasing an English version of the album, right? That's what you're working on now.
Exactly. And now that I think about it and I talk with my producer, it's cooler to say producer. He's one of my best friends, but it's cooler to say producer.
Cool.
I think he was on it fairly early. He said, shouldn't you do at least 2 versions? And then we'll see which version we like the most. And I said, no, we're going in Swedish, bro, because that's what LOTR does. And a lot of people like them, and I sound a lot like them on this first record.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Cool.
I really don't know why I chose Swedish. It's a pretty... I don't know. I'm not very happy with it. I should have went English right away, I think. But now it's a thing. Now I have fans from around the world, a few, who actually listen to it in Swedish, which is fucking insane to me. I thought it was going to be a local thing. You know,
right,
a few people in Gothenburg maybe could get behind it and maybe, you know, buy a few albums, something like that. But it turned out bigger than I thought in this year. Not to say I'm Metallica, but it's bigger than I had imagined from the start. And that's fucked for me. It's
That's
weird.
great, man. That's great.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that it's a good way to have it, isn't it? Where you're sort of like humble in your expectation, but then you can enjoy these kind of extras, especially in this day and age online. Like, it becomes so much more accessible, so you're able to reach people all over the world like that.
It's super cool when someone in Brazil writes, you know, and they tell you like, "Oh, dude, what is this thing? What does that mean?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah," because a lot of people wrote that about the lyrics, and that's when I decided to post them on Bandcamp for free, of course. So all the lyrics for Mindistry are on Bandcamp, and they can easily translate. Yeah, in Swedish, in Swedish, which they can translate. You know, they can copy paste that shit into to at least get a hum of what it's about. Yeah, in English re-release. We're recording.
So the process is interesting, right? Because as you say, obviously you can direct translate, and you'll get like as you say, the hum, the idea. But when it comes to actually writing it in English, like you're having to kind of start from scratch in a way, right? What's that process? Not from scratch, but you know, you're using different words to kind of make rhymes and stuff like that, right?
And that doesn't work when you directly translate. The rhymes are completely gone. You can get you get the sense of the song, but I did that on. I'm almost done. I gave myself a deadline yesterday, but I failed. I thought we were going to start recording today, but we pushed it to Thursday because now it's just to say that it's Monday the 27th.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Monday the 27th of February. We're starting recording on Thursday. So that's when this comes out, we'll see what time it is, you know. No, but and I ran them through a translator, not Google Translate. I ran them to some website for free. They had a premium thing as well, but no, I did the free version because that's hardcore, and you get the hum of it.
Yeah,
but it doesn't work. You know, it doesn't flow. But then at least I copy pasted that.
Phrasing and stuff, right? It needs to fit the syllables
and
the melody and the rhythm.
And I would never, ever release something I'm not super into myself with the translation.
Well, you still have to sing that, right? And if it doesn't, as you say, if it doesn't flow, then it's just going to be weird.
It's shit when you do that.
So what is that process like then of approaching translating / rewriting in English?
It's very hard, first off, because you have to get what I thought is, you need the meaning of the song. I wanted that to stay the same because they're about specific things. Yeah. It's not, they're not all, Mindistry sings about society. Mindistry sings about power metal. It's not that. Because I have some songs about movies, some songs about mental health, some songs about recent happenings, long past relationships. It's everything, really. Entertainment, life, fucking universe, video games. So I have a meaning of the song. Say, and I want you to do this, by the way, when we're live now. I want you to, if you can get the album up somehow, I want you to pronounce all the Swedish names. I think that would be a fun thing.
Earlier I said like your album came out in 2022 because I didn't want to try and butcher the pronunciation.
We're going to do that. We have to.
Katastrof Tanka.
Pretty good. Like a true immigrant. I love it.
Yes, of course.
but I mean, let's say Våldsamt Motstånd, the first real song, except because the first song is an instrumental, Canis Belli.
Yeah.
And that means Dogs of War in Latin.
Nice.
It has nothing to do with the album. I just think it sounds cool. Canis Belli.
Yeah. Dogs of War is such a cool phrase. It's like mercenaries, right?
Like hounds, hellhounds. Yeah. But Våldsamt Motstånd, that means violent resistance, directly translated. But I don't want to sing violent resistance because I think it's too cheap. It's too easy.
I see.
So that is in French now, actually.
Wait, so you translated it to French?
Yeah.
This is a very multilingual project.
Yeah, and that's
Latin,
the thing with
French,
Mindistry.
Swedish. Nice, cool.
That's the thing now. Just the chorus, of course. Just the chorus.
Okay. Yeah.
So now it's Vive la resistance. Because A lot
Also,
harder with the growl. Vive la Resistance. I
yeah.
think it's still working. Maybe I will have Freedom Fighters because that
Yes.
explains the thing.
So just to clarify, is that one in the original version you're singing it in Swedish, but in
Yeah,
the English translation you're gonna have the French chorus?
maybe.
Right. Cool,
Because I
man.
like that. Because on album 2,
Yeah, sounds good.
which is in pre-production in album 2, there is also a French chorus for a song called
Cool.
Militaires Sans Frontières, which
Nice.
means soldiers without borders. It's a joke about the, what do you say? What is that called? Läkare utan gränser. It's like doctors without borders, sanitaire sans frontières, but it's militaire sans frontières, and it's from Metal Gear Solid, the video game. Yeah, so that is in French. So I thought, well, what if there's one French chorus on every album?
Cool.
That might be a thing, and there's going to be a German chorus on the second album as well. There is some Latin in A Breakdown. Okay, but I'm straying because that's album 2. But on album 1, våldsamt motstånd, violent resistance, and you think resistance, freedom fighters could be a thing. So I do that in my head. You don't say synonymically. That's not a word.
I understand though. Yeah.
You try to connect it maybe to something else instead of just saying violent resistance, våldsam motstånd. Fuck that. It's too simple. Because also now I'm competing with all the English-speaking fucking bands. I didn't before. It's a friendly competition, of course, but it's still a competition about getting the listener's attention.
Just about quality. Yeah.
Of course. So if it's just breath, death, fear, near, if it's all that, I won't. I won't be happy with it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, it's still artistry to creating it, of course.
But some songs, this is fantastic because it's called an English re-release, but another chorus is still in Swedish because I won't get it to work in English.
Yeah, fair.
It's the UMLB, the Thrash song. It will remain utrotning, massgrav, likkista, blodbad, because that's extermination, mass grave, coffin, bloodshed. It doesn't really jive.
Right, yeah.
It's too immature.
Some things are
some things
are just gonna flow. For sure. But again, I guess it makes sense because as you say, in like a standard English release, you may get phrases and things like that in different languages. So I think it works completely. I think it's just, as you say, I suppose it's more consumable overall if it's mostly English. I guess that's the idea, right?
It is for what should I need to choose my words carefully here, Mr. William, to not sound like a fucking asshole. But for the industry, it's more friendly. Does that make sense? To get like, if someone wants to listen to you, maybe it's reviews are easier if it's in English, you know?
I'm kind of intrigued as to what the less politically correct version would be, but you know, we can play it safer for that.
Yeah, but I'm not up there. I have baby numbers. I have like 100 monthly. It's not like I know secrets or anything, but I have noticed a lot in a year. I have learned a lot about the scene in a year. Talking to people, mostly amazing people, I have to say, like yourself.
Man. Oh, thank you, man.
Getting to meet you and some other people, it's amazing. But they're always, well, there's this, you know, should you be commercial? Are you doing it to get cash? No. Do you want that? Sure. It would be a cool thing, but I'm not aiming to be like Slipknot. I know, you know, but it's more monetary in English. It's what I find. Because as soon as I talked with some people and said, I'm thinking about a re-release, like, oh, really? Are you? Oh, so now you're fucking interested? You know? Not to...
Yeah, I guess as you say, it's just because...
By the way, I know how it works, and I'm all down for it. I would probably do the same. Like, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's like... It's just so saturated, I suppose, in the market, if you're going to look at it that way, that people will kind of take any excuse to, you know, discount it or ignore your project. And so I guess it probably is a thing that anyone from like with a different first language probably has to weigh up of whether you sing in your language or, you know, do it in English.
And then some say, "Oh, it's so unique."
I
And so
like
it's
it,
like,
man. Like, I think
oh
it's really
shit.
cool. Yeah, it's a funny one. Like, I do think that first and foremost, like, just your connection is the most important thing. Like, and I
Mm,
think that you're really great at that. Like, with connecting with people. I think, you know, as you're saying about meeting people on Instagram or wherever,
mm,
you know, and just chatting, and as
yeah.
we have, and I think that that's really great. And when you have that connection with somebody, it really incentivizes you to pay attention more to the music and
Sure,
and
that's
what they're
important
doing.
to me as well.
Yeah.
Because I really don't want to make Mindistry sound bigger than it is. So keep that in mind. When I say
Mm.
people write, we're not talking 2,000 people a day, but we're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah, of course.
maybe
Yeah.
some people every day now.
Yeah,
And,
that's
and
cool,
that
man.
blows me away because I'm like,
That's
what?
it.
Really? Hmm,
Yeah, it's just that
okay.
sense of community. It's really cool, man. That's kind of
Yeah, like new
yeah, that's what it's
people. And
about.
someone's like, and Swedish people, of course, mostly.
Mm.
And I'm very into engaging with it. Not too much, but being like, oh, thank you so much for paying attention. Maybe I'll send
Yeah,
an
that's
audio
it.
message if they say they like it, Mindistry. And I'll be like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And here's what's happening now. And how are you doing? How
Mhm.
is your
Yeah,
week?
that's
You
it.
know, and not just be like, thanks.
Yeah,
That's very
thanks. I'm
important to me,
amazing.
at least. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
important to me being like, are you having a good week? Is
Yeah,
how are you?
just have real conversations with real people.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Because
what
you
it's
get to
about.
meet so many people. And I've already met Jesus Christ in this fucking year.
You already met Jesus Christ?
I did. I told you about that, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, sorry, man. I threw you
That's
off
off.
there.
That's off the air. That I had a religious experience 3 days ago
Oh,
when my
yeah.
television broke.
Uh-huh.
I had a religious epiphany about life.
Yes. Yeah. We all need one of those now and then.
I actually thought about something before we started, and I might say that maybe this is a great segue because we said Jesus Christ. Fuck Mindistry. Me and my daughter Tara, you know,
Uh-huh.
we just watched the Lord of the Rings again because
Oh,
she's
yeah.
10 now. She's 10, and I showed it to her when she was around 6. And it might have been
Nice.
a little scary, maybe a
Yeah, I'd
little
have thought.
scary. But then I came to think about when I saw it in the theater, and I was 6.
Nice.
I must have been 6, and that seeing the Balrog fight
Yeah,
with
wow.
Gandalf has to have been the closest thing to a religious experience I have ever had in the
Oh,
cinema when I
man.
was 6 years old.
Yeah, I bet that
Dude,
must have been intense.
oh my god! And the cave troll and
Yeah.
the intro with Sauron,
Oh,
like how
yeah,
they
wow.
build him up. He's in it for like
So
15
evil.
seconds, and you
Yeah,
remember him
yeah.
for your life. How cool is that?
Yeah.
15
Totally,
seconds
man.
in his fucking armor.
Yeah.
Really, really. Like what?
Yeah, he's just so evil, just like that skeletal, like he looks like a Gothic cathedral.
Yeah, he does.
It's
And but Tara
amazing,
loves
man.
it now because she
Dude,
didn't want to
yeah,
watch
cool.
it because
Yeah.
she thought it was some different fantasy thing, and I was like, it's the thing with the dwarf and the hobbits. She's like, oh, and I have a great surround sound, and now we have the great television,
Nice,
and we
yeah.
watched the entirety of the first one Friday and Saturday, and
Cool.
she loved it. And I was like, you want to start watching the second one when we eat lunch yesterday? Like, yeah. I'm like, okay, let's fucking do it. So I'm so into
Nice,
that now
man.
again. Yeah.
That's
I
so good,
remember when
yeah.
you were a kid, you know, because you're 2 years younger than me, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, because now it doesn't matter, but it matters if we like
Yeah,
went to the
when you were a
cinema at the
kid.
same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So
that makes a difference.
you went to see Fellowship at the cinema when you were
Yeah, the
16?
first, second, and third. I saw them all in the cinema, and they were so fucking amazing.
I think I only saw the third.
Return of the King, right?
Yeah.
Because then you
The
were
other
like
ones I
12.
watched on VHS. I
Yeah,
think.
dude. I remember with my mom and stepdad renting the extended cut on VHS, and they had the coolest, like
Yeah,
a
the
book.
extended cuts are the best.
Oh,
Right.
we're gonna see them as well, but not now.
Right. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it was a good segue there. I met Jesus Christ when I was 6 years old in the cinema.
Well, in the form of the Balrog.
Yeah, it's so badass, man. Go
It
back
still
to the
looks so
shadow.
good as well, man. Like,
Yes.
yeah. It's so the Balrog, yeah, it's just like so hellish, man. So demonic.
It's so fucking, and it's,
amazing.
I'm really not like that, but it's so fucking metal.
Yeah.
Really?
It is so metal, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so dark, epic. It's that whole like
And
mythological
Moria. you see the dwarves built this all, and now it's all abandoned, and you're like, why?
Ruins. Yeah,
So big, and you realize like, oh, and Saruman says that's so cool, because Gandalf doesn't want to go into Moria, and you hear Saruman like, they awoke in the caverns, Gandalf. And you're like, what is that? What did he awake? And they set it up so good. It's
just like a masterpiece of like the writing, man.
It is the second and third as well.
His storytelling, the world building. It's like it's never really been bested. I think.
No, I think it's for me. It's Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. If you go big franchises, they have to be, because then you have Conan the Barbarian is one of my favorite movies, and that's basically Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's same. It's but that whole like that. What do they call it? Sword and sorcery. That kind of
high fantasy sword and sorcery.
Yeah. I love that stuff as well, man.
Dude, Conan the Barbarian, not just to be, Arnold's fun, but it's a good movie. It holds up. And
again,
he's good too.
Conan is just so metal again.
Yes. Isn't he like the Gudonians? The Guidians? What do you call them?
Guidunians. Yeah.
And that's what,
exactly. It's that vibe. It's that vibe. I think, I don't know if you're a fan, but we spoke one time, you mentioned about Death Clock or Metalocalypse.
I've seen it with friends, but I have never followed it. But I don't know that much, actually.
Okay, yeah. It was basically just, for anybody that doesn't know, it was just like a cartoon, like a metal cartoon series of like 10-minute episodes following a fictional death metal band. It was just very funny and very silly.
Wasn't it Corpse Grinder, a guy from Black Sabbath, stuff like that?
It was, so all of these people were always in it, like doing voiceovers, cameos, things like that. It was really, really cool for like rock and metal community. But I know that Brendan Small, who created it, when they were making the band and they were making the lead singer, like he said that he had two pictures and was like, this guy basically needs to just be a cross of Corpse Grinder, like George Fisher from Cannibal Corpse, and Conan the Barbarian. Like just mix these into a person, and that's the singer, And I just love that, man. That's what I'm all as as you know.
Yeah.
Like,
I love some songs though. I can say that, dude. Awaken. Awaken and Mermaid 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I love it.
But I love it. Totally. I love how it's just such like silly metal, but it sounds great as well. It's really well written and produced.
Oh yeah, I listen.
But it's so fun.
It is very fun.
Awaken, I don't know about now, but the first Death album, I think, at least when it came out, it was like the highest ever charting death metal album.
Oh my god! And that, of course, that's because promotions. They had a show
because of the show and everything. Yeah. And I knew people that enjoyed that show that didn't listen to metal at all, and they just enjoyed the show because like it was funny, and then like actually started listening to Death Clock because of it, because they had that thing of like Awaken or whatever. It was from a funny episode.
Too.
Yeah,
it's so
exactly.
Good, man.
Yeah, totally, man. It has almost like. It takes a page out of the Swedish book, having like heavy death metal, but making it really catchy,
Because those chords in Awaken, down, 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 down. It's that classical fucking major chord thing, but it's the double bass.
Totally. And I had used this guitar here, the Explorer. This is actually Brendan Small's signature guitar. It's the one that he uses for Death Clock. And so that's a really funny thing because he has such a like classic rock sound. Basically, he's playing these like death metal parts.
The solos
and
are insane though.
Yeah,
dude, what's that song? Okay, let's see, because they did so fun Batman videos with that too.
That's the bat metal ones. Yeah.
I thought it was that. I thought it was bat metal. I didn't know Death Clock before that. I think I knew it existed, but like Batman metal.
Yeah, Face Fisted. That was the first song that they did on the first Bat Metal.
You're like, what? Yeah. What is this?
Dude, that's it, man. I think that stuff's so fun and ridiculous. That's basically the whole like Grundle, Black Tongue Bile thing is like us making our own version of kind of silly, fun death metal type music like that, man.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. It's so fun.
But what you said about Simple, I love that because that's literally the chorus. It's down, down, down,
Yeah.
down.
Exactly, just some classic rock stuff, basically.
3 chords.
Awaken, awaken, awaken.
Awaken.
Yeah.
Tame the land that must be taken. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's so simple, but it's fun and cool. Mermaider 2. I like Mermaider 2 better though.
Yeah, they were both cool. That was from when they were in the show. They were producing an underwater death metal album. And they're like, this is gonna be the most. We're gonna go to the depths and make the most metal thing ever. Awaken was where they were like visiting Finland, and last time they were in Finland, they like destroyed the place, and so they decided to write them a song to apologize. And he's like, okay, but the lyrics to pay tribute to you, like we took them from this book that we found of ancient Finnish necromantic, like like rituals or whatever.
Yeah.
And so basically sings out this ritual to like awaken a demon,
like
a lake troll. A lake troll. That was what it was. So they basically they perform that song, Awaken, and it wakes up this big lake troll that then destroys Finland again.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. It's awesome. Cool, I love that, man. Just like make a cool, fun song and then just, give a little funny skit, like a context to it.
It's so
good.
Just that song. Now, there are some more, but especially Awaken, Mermaider. I know there are some.
Yeah, that's from the first album. Go Into the Water. I like that one. Really,
But isn't it something with a crime scene? I tamper with evidence at the crime scene or something. I love that title.
Yeah, they're...
tamper with evidence at the murder scene. You're like, what?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I know
there's something like that. I tamper
there's
with
a few
evidence.
like that. Yeah. There's a few. There's a few like that, man. Yeah. Blood recuted.
Blood recuted. Fuck right. But my friends were really into it with the guy who plays. He plays the lead guitar on Katastroftankar, Bernard from Ominum.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one. Right, he and his friends, they were into. I point because they live over there, not that far.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yes,
that's good.
That's why that guy. They were into it, so I saw it from them. But they really like it. I knew they really did like it. We're talking 2011, 2012, when we were in Insanity.
Yeah,
they really liked that one.
Yeah, it's so good, man. I used to watch all that stuff with my friends. It's so fun. But I mean, we could go on all sorts of tangents here. But you said,
what should we head into? Fuck Mindistry. There's so much more interesting things, bro.
Well, it's more just interesting in the context of like what inspires you and such, because you mentioned about Lord of the Rings.
It's entertainment, life.
Yeah. Also, cool. you said as well, that you cover the spectrum really in terms of your topics, but then in some of the lyrics that you gave as well, you have these themes of like war and these kind of things, man. What particularly inspires you here?
It's so well. What inspires me, various things.
Sure.
Various events from life, from dreams. I mean, asleep dreams, not ambition. When you're asleep, I've had dreams. It could be that I listened to a creepypasta that was about H.P. Lovecraft, and I might write a song for album 3 about that.
Nice.
I have. Yeah. It was a bad hint. But it's everything, really. Everything I consume, somehow I shit it out as music in some way or another.
But you like to consume stuff that's
a
bit more graphic and a bit more
definitely. If I see
that intensity to it. Violence.
Intensity. It has to be mature.
Yeah.
And mostly it has to be mature. That if I see, because I don't consume as many movies as I did, but from when I was 5, and now we're talking maybe The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Nice.
And that's some dramatic stuff. I can still listen to those songs. Yeah, and the Disney version it's so drama and matureness, graphicness.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a dark story, man. That one.
It is, dude. Poor Quasimodo. He doesn't get the girl. Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah. The fucking knight gets the girl. I love that. And he's up in his fucking tower,
Yeah.
No, but I watched so many movies, like starting with that Disney stuff. And then I got into stealing my stepdad's VHS tapes when I was fake sick from school.
Oh yeah.
Watching
Good
Starship
move.
Troopers, all that stuff. And it gave me a lot of issues mentally seeing some of that early stuff, but it also, conceptions of how much can a guy handle punishment wise from like Tekken 3. I have such a vivid memory of me fighting a lot in school, which all my friends who were with me can attest to, that we all fought. And to get in the group, to get in the group, I had, when I changed schools for various reasons, not something I did, but I had this in my head when I was like 9 too. If I'm going to get into this group, I need to fight them. And I need to prove that I can take them all, because that was what was in my head. So I told them in a break, I remember, like, okay, guys, we're going to be friends, right? So you're all going to have to fight me. And it wasn't, we're not talking fist fights. We're talking 9-year-old pushing, shoving, throwing, But they really did that. It was like 7-on-1 for like a week. Yes. That's how we do
because
it here,
you challenge them all.
It's so dumb. And for some reason I was like, and you have to tie my hands with my jacket, okay? Because I'm going to fuck you all up. I'm still best friends with some of them to this day.
Nice. So it works. So, it's an effective strategy.
But it was it's not as violent as it sounds, but I did that. That's probably because I consumed so much violence from an early age. And not to throw my mom under the bus. She didn't know. She did not want me consuming all this violent content.
I can relate. I had like a box of DVDs under my bed of like horror movies and things that I would gather and find. Yeah. So I'm with you, man. I can relate.
No, but on that Tekken 3 thing, now you can notice my head is distraught because we're like the Finnish sea monster with tentacles. We're touching everything. But the Tekken 3 reference was, I had no real connection with what it feels like to be punched. I thought it was like in Tekken 3, you take a punch, you get right up. If you get a kick in the nuts,
I see.
Health bar, get right up. But my stepdad taught me such a good lesson. I was out biking one day, and we had a lake where we lived, uppe I Mossen I Fontin, för alla som vet vad Kungälv är. We lived there. And I rode down a hill right into a fucking tree and hit my fucking dick right on the steering thing. And my stepdad was like, yeah, see, that's what it feels like to get a nut punch. You don't get right up, kid. And I was like, that's true. Oh shit. And he taught me so much good things with that.
That's
like, it's not real life. You can't just go around doing that because you get hurt. And I couldn't stand up for a minute. I was like,
I bet, man. I can imagine.
And I said so good. Like, you don't get right up, right? Like Jin in Tekken 3.
Yeah.
You don't get right up, huh?
So like, no. You really feel like you had a sort of distorted sense of reality with that.
For a long time. And that's partly due to my anxiety as well. Because I had some panic attacks, I remember, where I actually hallucinated. Because I loved Spider-Man. I remember, maybe it was a head trauma thing, because I had a hit in my head too when I was very young. But that explains a lot, actually. Getting hit in the head very young. But I woke up and I shot fucking spider webs out of my forehead. And I was so scared. I literally saw myself running around the apartment like, Mom, I can't make it stop. And now it's fun. But I was terrified. And I had those. I haven't hallucinated. It was a few times. It's nothing reoccurring.
Yeah.
But I have had some very vivid dreams. I have never had sleep paralysis or something like that. And that's in some songs. I'm tying it together, see, with some songs.
Yeah.
I had some very vivid dreams where I woke up and I thought people were in the room. Not evil. They're like friends.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, guys. And I had a distorted perception of reality for a long time due to my anxiety. A lot about being on, fight or flight, all that bullshit, thinking everyone's out to get you from a very young age.
Right.
And then I got into boxing very early.
Okay, that's cool.
But yeah, I think that helped a little bit because you're so grounded when you're training. Maybe I just realized that now. I don't know. You have to be
kind of focus.
You have to be here now. You have to see what he does now. You can't think about you know, and that's cool. That's cool.
Did you do a lot of boxing?
I can't actually remember how long I did it, but I did jiu-jitsu as well. Not Brazilian, the traditional stand-up jiu-jitsu, boxing, mixed martial arts, some wrestling. But I taught myself that, you know, professional wrestling. We used to fight a lot with my friends on the trampoline at home. And it's a miracle we survived. I have a video of one of my best friends to this day, Michael, the guy who does the cosplay stuff, who I showed you.
Oh, yeah.
With the axes. Michael, yeah. I have a video on my old Nokia phone because we recorded us wrestling. We set up this little phone on next to the trampoline. And we were going to do, you know, these cool flip kicks. So he kicked me, I grab it, and I shove him up, but he ends up, you know, falling on his head with all his body weight. Oh. And you can see, and he kicked me in the nuts. So somehow we're just laying there, and I have that somewhere. I need to find that because I almost broke his neck by just throwing up in the air. It was crazy. It's Sweden, man.
Yeah, is that I
barbarian blood.
Yeah, didn't realize Gothenburg was so
it's a violent place
so
to this day. Get hard or die, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, natural warriors.
You're natural born blood. Killers. Full Metal Jacket style.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it's not necessarily that normal that everybody is fighting each other like that, though. No. It sounds as if you had a bit of a focus on this kind of violence and stuff from a young age.
I love it. I love it to this day. That's why I follow the UFC. That's why I follow boxing, you know. I love it. And this is important. I don't love hitting people. I like because it's a bit of, well, it's creativity as well.
Yeah.
I like the sportsmanship. I like very engaging stuff. And to go back to the entertainment, all those movies you watch, they're in my head and they shape what I write. They shape what I do with the album covers because I did all those myself as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice. All three of them. I did Photoshop. And I did the logo myself. I did the 2 lyric videos myself.
Nice.
Which I hopefully never have to do again because I don't like it. But now I will have to because we have an album coming out, right? A re-release.
In English.
Yeah. But I learned a lot because I spend way too much time on scenery in a lyric video. Because when I see how people do lyric videos with like big bands, they have a fucking image and cool rolling text. I did a whole movie with scenes. Like, wow,
it's a lot
that's
of work,
how you do it.
Yeah.
It was too. But yeah, about that. How about you click up the album, William, and tell me what the songs are named?
I think that's a.
Come on, man!
Not a good segment of me just butchering.
And then you put that on Instagram as one of the promos. You see, I got it all figured out, man.
Have you? God, man, I can't. Language is not a skill of mine, and Swedish is a particularly funky one. How do we pronounce this? Voldsmat, Voldsamt, motstånd.
Oh, and then wait, because now William just said Voldsamt motstånd, and he's moving on to number 3. What is that?
Oh man, get out of here!
Come on, man.
Vårdvad?
Fördärvad.
Vårdvad. I remember being in the bus in Sweden, and hearing the stops, and I would try and like repeat after them.
Right, you were in Stockholm, fucking traitor. I'm mortal enemies with those guys.
Yeah, that's it.
And you went there. But it goes in the book, but I will forgive it.
It goes. Yeah, I know. I love it, man. But it's cool. Like the language is really cool, and there's a sort of almost like a song to it, like a musical quality to the way that.
I don't hear that. I've had a lot of people tell me that, and I disrespectfully disagree.
Cool.
I said that because my friend Michael said such a good thing. Like, I respectfully agree, and yet I disrespectfully agree is a lot better sometimes.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
No, but you said it good. Våldsamt motstånd, fördärvad, UMLB.
I'll have to work on it for sure.
Okay, can you say the final one as well?
Not the final. Bortglomd?
It's great. I love this.
I probably say it with such an English accent as well, man. I can't help
it's good. That song, I can tell you, that song fucked my head. I hated. Can I swear, by the way? I didn't ask you.
Yeah. Well, I'd be a bit late for that, but sure, man. Yeah.
Did I destroy your entire vibe?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
No, but some songs are a lot to get back to the album a little bit. Some songs are a lot harder than others. Oh my God, man.
Harder in what way?
Translating them in a way that is not cheap.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and then, of course, and dude, I have to say, Michael, the cosplay guy, damn, it's not a promo. We're best friends. We talk on the phone every day. And he just studied linguistics. No shit. In the university, he just studied linguistics and phonetic. So we talked about rhyme patterns. We just got into that. Like, dude, rhyme patterns, 1 2 1 2, 2 2 3 2 2 3, And a very simple one of those. Well, let's do an example of mine. Let's do one of mine. In Fördärvad, you have seen the fire that is cold and raw. It left me with an undead frozen core. But then I say core. I have to. Sometimes you can bend a little. Nice. Yeah. Through blood-soaked faith in carbon black precipitation, there is not an untouched destination. That's 1 2 1 2. It's very simple. But then you have in Raupfjord, Bärsärkargång, Per Hultkoff, who is one of my favorite humans and artists. Because I've never met him. He seems to be a very cool guy. But he has 1 1 1 2 3 3 3 2, which is totally fucked up, but it works. It's so cool in one of his songs.
That's cool.
And then I got stuck with fuck. Now I'm thinking patterns. This is gonna fuck everything up because now I don't want 1 2 1 2.
Oh man.
Yeah. Fuck me. Now I have that here. No.
Yeah, it's like it's a fine line, isn't it? You got to be careful about giving yourself too much to think about.
Yes, but they're
ultimately
simple.
You want it to just kind of come naturally. So
of course, and I when I write these lyrics now, I've been listening to Eminem. I know I sent you an audio message of me rapping Eminem. I've been listening a lot to him because his vocals and his rhyming is out of this world.
Yeah.
Eminem. I listen a lot to rap, and I think some of my I can't say that I have flow, but some of my flow on Mardröm, for example, it's pretty fast verse.
Yeah.
A lot of mad ångest och tankar av skam. No, it's a little dun. Yeah, maybe. I listened to LL Cool J since I was 5, thanks to my dad. Nice. So I have all that. Snoop Dogg, some DMX.
I mean, that's really cool because I suppose, especially with harsh vocals, it has a sort of similarity to rap in a way. That you're not like relying so much on melody. It's static. It's about rhythmic flow. Yeah.
But Eminem helped me so much with some translations, finding flow.
Yeah.
But cool. Some songs are harder. Man. Some songs are a fucking pain. Some songs were just rolled right out of my head when I started thinking about it. Some songs just fit like Våldsam motstånd. That first verse. It's a clean song for some reason. And in that translated, it's burning ground underneath the blackened sky, where we won't survive the night. Our hearts of steel beat to the sound of thunder, still outnumbered. That to me is good. And I didn't hear the melody. But that to me is pretty good. I'm satisfied with that rhyme because a thing I have in my head is I don't want at least all the rhymes to end on the same letter. Because it creates a more, can I say intelligent flow?
Yeah, I get you.
For me, it's more challenging. Sky, night. It doesn't end on the same, but it's pronounced almost the same. That's what I like to do, to challenge myself. Not make every rhyme end on the same, maybe pronunciation.
I suppose it's, not going for the most obvious.
Exactly. Maybe switch it up a bit. And you can change how words sound too. There's no rule to not doing that. You can change how much you want, as long as it's a cool thing. Not that I do it, but I don't do what you want, you know?
Yeah. I always remember the one that sticks out to me is Sex Pistols. I don't know if you're into that kind of stuff. But I want to be Anarchy, you know, that song. And I think
want to be Anarchy.
It's the opening lyrics, something like that. They say like, I am the Antichrist. I am an anarchist. something along those lines.
See
it's
what
like
I mean?
Just changed anarchist to fit.
I love that. You can do that. There's no rule against that.
Okay, man, you can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of art, really, isn't it?
And that's the coolest. It is. But I should promote this somehow by saying that I am surprised by how good it is, honestly. I think this should probably have been written in English. I think that was meant to be in English. When I hear how certain phrases I can use to put a little Manowar in there as well, to have it a little slower with more power. Like I said, with our hearts of steel beat to the sound of thunder. That's a pretty cool line. I think that's pretty. That could be on a shirt.
Yeah, you know? That's cool.
Yeah. Maybe our hearts pound to the sound of thunder. It's also cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see what it is in the final.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it, man. Do you have an idea of when, like, you would do your re-release, or I guess you got to record it first?
Yeah. We're gonna start recording on Thursday if everything goes as planned. We're gonna set up a thing here at my home, and that's you know it because I'm suffering a lot from mental illness, so I can't go very many places now. That's why he comes here, because it's my friend.
Oh, right, cool.
Yeah, well, so we bring equipment. He comes here, and we fix it. Not just to clarify, I leave my house. You know that. I am outside more than inside.
Walking every day. Yeah.
Up until 3-4, I'm mostly outside. I have a problem with agoraphobia, taking long places. It's a disease I have. For fans, it's good to know. Because some people I talk with online that write me, I notice that some lyrics connect with them a lot. That's cool. In Swedish especially. And that's cool. When you can make someone relate to you. Maybe have a conversation, maybe check in. Maybe I write some of them every now and again to be like, yo man, how you doing? Is everything going good? How's your week? You know, maybe we can talk about, but yeah, the album, we're going to start recording now. And I get PTSD right away. Cause you know what Felix mostly said during the studio recording? Go for it. Do that again, but good.
Yeah.
That's mostly what he said from what I remember. Like, okay, that's great. Do it again, but good.
That's the rough thing about the recording process. Like creating is such a wonderful thing, but recording can really just be like, you know, when you're tracking, it can just be
my fucking God, dude, don't.
Again. As you say, the PTSD,
and I have so many, you know, I have this one is what we recorded with Studio Gibson. Borrowed it from my friend Michael.
Very good.
Yeah, and it's in drop ice. And this one is not meant for that.
Drop ice.
Yeah, it's an A and a hashtag, or a B and a small b.
Okay, B flat. All right, yeah.
B flat.
A sharp.
Yeah, drop. Drop
okay.
B flat.
Drop B flat. So like C standard. And
then half drop with the thick. Exactly.
I think the only time I used that tuning was on that Amon Amarth video I sent you. I think
you sent me that. Yes. Yes.
I think that Amon Amarth were also using that tuning. Drop B flat.
They did.
At least on that record. You can see here.
I'm not going to play because it sounds like shit without, but it's so much. I'm up here all the time. And when I do the
chugging,
you know, those fast.
Yeah.
It's hard to get it right without fucking something down here or making it sound weird up here when it's in this tuning.
Yeah.
When you hit these chords.
Right.
So that was a fucking right pain.
I mean, Gibsons are sort of known for their difficulties with tuning as well, let alone that low. I mean, that's very, very low.
After almost every take, we had to retune. So for album 2, not the re-release, mind you, the album 2, which is out. Yeah. Maybe we'll start recording this year. If I get the help I need, we'll start recording album 2 because it is in pre-production, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, album 2 is it's been for a year almost. Wow. But now we're releasing. Now we're re-releasing album 1.
Yeah.
But on album 2, I'm going to borrow an Evertune Solar Can you imagine that?
Oh, yeah.
From the
So,
mix master, Christopher. And that's going to be,
good, yeah.
Jesus Christ, it's going to be good. Heavenly
Yeah.
Divine.
Yes, Evertune. Yeah, it's a lifesaver for things like that, man. When it comes to just like tracking. Yeah.
I never want to record an album again. I'm kidding. I loved it. I always kid with Felix. Like, he's my Bob Rock.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Because he makes me good. He makes me very good.
Yeah, that's it, man. Like, yeah, it's got to have that slightly more meticulous edge when it comes to that part of the process. It's just how it is.
Especially industrial, because I thought about it before.
Industrial is so tight, isn't it, man?
I think it should be. It doesn't have to, but I think it should be. If you listen to Rammstein, it's
Rammstein
very thick.
is just, yeah.
Yeah, but if you think about it, I get a lot of comparisons to Raubtier, which I understand. But there aren't really many Swedish industrial thrash metal bands.
Mm-hmm.
Right? How many can you think on the top of your head? Swedish industrial thrash.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there are a band called Death
Mindistry.
Stars. Oh, they're boom.
I do know Death Stars. Yeah. I remember Death Stars. It was probably their first record where they came out with like Blitzkrieg Boom and all of that.
I never listened to them.
I was a kid. I was a kid and I loved that stuff at the time because I was so into all of the goth stuff. They were on a TV show. There was like a competition that they did in the UK one time. It was some like get in the ring type thing. It was like a battle of the bands type thing, but they did it almost like a wrestling match.
Yeah. What?
And it was really cool actually.
What?
It was like they were playing, like they were doing like walkouts and stuff as bands.
Oh my god. Entrances.
Yeah. And then they would like play a song or whatever, or a couple of songs. And then Death Stars were on that. They won, I think. And also Teresas.
They're pretty good.
It's so Teresas, the like battle metal.
Teresas.
Teresas.
Stand up and fight. They're good.
They were on there. They were on there as well. Yeah, it was really cool. Anyway, a bit of a detour, but yeah, I remember Death Stars from that.
Yeah, but Swedish industrial thrash. Now maybe I'm changing it because I'm selling out, William. I'm re-releasing an album in English.
Yeah, fair dues.
Death Star is singing English.
Yeah, that was English.
And
it wasn't. I don't know if it was so thrashy, but it had that kind of like industrial goth kind of.
It's not thrashy. Yeah. That it's Raubtier, really. That's the industrial thrash. They don't call themselves that.
I need to listen to them. Yeah.
I sent you one thing with the. But yeah, I have to do it. There it is.
Yeah, that's the record behind you with the tanks. Yeah.
Oh, it's a Tiger tank. It's a Tiger 1. Do you know that one?
Tanks is not exactly my forte, but I get the idea.
No, but it's one of the most feared tanks in World War II. The German Tiger 1. Oh, dude, it's have you seen the movie Fury with Brad Pitt?
Oh,
the tank movie with him.
I thought I vaguely remember that. I did see that, or at least some of it years ago.
But there's one scene there where they set up the tiger like fucking Jason from Friday the 13th. And it's amazing because he comes out of the forest and they're like, oh no, it's a tiger, and it weighed about 60 tons. And that was a lot more than the Sherman tanks, the American tanks. And they had they could pierce the hull. And when that happened, it ignited the shell. So it exploded right inside of the Sherman crew. And their steel plating was so that the Sherman tanks couldn't penetrate. They shot in it, from some angles. Yeah, I know this because my kid brother is super into that world of tanks and world of warships.
Right, I see.
Yeah. So I have two, but one of my younger brothers, he knows what they weigh. He knows all the airplanes.
Wow.
He knows when they were made, Japanese. Like holy shit. Yeah, and they talk a lot about that in those communities about the Tiger 1, and it's cool that they have that there because it looks so badass. Unfortunately, it's a Nazi tank, but it's so you can't see it good, but they have their logo on the tank as well.
As a war machine in general.
It's a 60-ton man of destruction, and it was in Africa. That's pretty cool. It functioned in Africa as well. But they say German ingenuity, right? Isn't that something you say? They're really good at that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Well, Germans, famous.
And Rammstein, they're good with metal. And I'm inspired by them. You can hear that too.
For sure. Yeah, I think probably in like a really dumb broad stroke way, it was probably the first thing I thought when I heard your music.
Of course.
Is that it kind of it's kind of almost like a Swedish Rammstein type
Mardröm.
vibe. Yeah.
The one with the most plays,
Yeah.
It's basically a ripoff. You know, it's a fucking, it's one of, I know there's this, what do you say? It's a loophole of who did that thing first with that, you know? And it's from 91, I know, Die Krupps, I think they're called. It's a German band who has a song that goes like, and then Rammstein, and then Rauti did one of those, and now I did it. Yeah. You know that classical static.
It is it's just a signature of that industrial kind of sound, isn't it? Yeah,
it is. And I mean,
like Rob Zombie kind of does things like that as well.
Oh man, I listened so much to him when I was a kid. I loved. Oh, as an edgelord, you know, Cradle of Filth, Rob Zombie, White Zombie.
Yeah, I love.
Oh my god, Rob! I don't like any of Rob's new stuff though. I am so disconnected with the rock stuff. Yeah. I don't think it's industrial at all anymore. White Zombie is what I like more.
I suppose it's left that a bit behind. But yeah, White Zombie is obviously not really industrial either, right? Or less.
What are they?
Less so.
What are they? Groove metal?
Well, they had groove to them for sure, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. What I love White Zombie. It's cool. It's wacky stuff, man. I love it. Rob is such a character, man.
He's
making horror movies and stuff as well. Like, I
Dude, can you imagine? Well, we're basically the same age, but when House of Thousand Corpses came out, I tried to get a hold of it because it was cool, and I thought it was the coolest movie just because he made it.
Yeah.
Literally, because he made it. I was like, oh, dude, it's the best movie ever.
I mean, how good his movies are, I suppose it's subjectional, but he does have that, he does have that cult horror vibe about it, which gives it charm, you know?
Oh, he definitely does.
Cool.
It's like a certain vibe.
Devil's Rejects was pretty cool as well, man. That was the sequel.
Very dirty.
Yeah.
Very dirty movies.
Hellbilly. That was the name of his album. Right?
Hellbilly.
It's kind of the style, isn't it? You know.
Hellbilly Deluxe.
I remember those. Psycho Hillbillies and all that stuff.
Right, Hellbilly. That I like that. It's like, is that a rainbow? Painbow? Hellbilly. Abusement park.
Yeah.
A little fun.
Yeah, man. No, I love it. Again, it's just such like theatrical character that makes it so fun.
Oh, and dude, I'm thinking about that because I'm gonna have to start having live shows. Yeah, it's not one who's written me like, when's your next show? Like, I haven't even had one. Yeah, they're like, when can I see you live? Are you here? Are you there? Like, no, it's me. I don't want to play backing tracks. Yeah, Felix always jokes about that. Like, you stand on stage with backing tracks. I'm like, am I gonna do that? I don't want to do that. No.
Yeah, I guess it's just in metal, especially. We're just so used to that.
And I have a setup, kind of. I kind of have a lineup. I don't.
Yeah, that's cool.
I have talked to my friends. Yeah, Bernard from Aminum, Erik from Sonic Assault, and Valdemar Skoglund. I don't remember Valdemar's band, but he tours Europe now, playing rock, playing what's it called? Fuck, it's not boogie. It's rock blues stuff. No, rock blues.
Yeah.
Twang. He plays that. He tours Europe, and he said he wrote me after the first album. I remember we talked about it, like that he would like to play bass on the recording. So that's one down at least. Bernard is on. He does the solos. Erik is going to play drums when we get down to it. So everything is going to be real on album 2, not the re-release. That remains the same.
Yeah, sure.
But album 2 is going to have a full real production.
And yeah. Wow, cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man. I mean, I'm really keen to kind of glue everything together here because we spoke a bit about you growing up and like movies and various things, and we've spoken about like your album and what you're doing now. I'm really interested to kind of get a bit more of an insight to your musical journey and like when you got into music. You know, obviously you were playing in bands and stuff before, so yeah. I'm really interested to like where did that begin? And how did we get to where we are now?
Well, that's a long journey. or it's a short journey, depending on how you look at it, because I'm not done yet.
For sure, yeah.
I started playing guitar after I played Guitar Hero.
Nice.
Yeah, I got into Guitar Hero. I played expert mode, and my stepdad said, "You're pretty good." So I borrowed a guitar, started fucking around upstairs in the computer. I remember one of the first songs I did tabs. I Googled tabs. I did. Wait, let's see. Oh, what's it called? Walk This Way.
Guitar.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Ultimate Guitar, Walk This Way. Circa 20, maybe 08, maybe 07 there. And and I couldn't get it to work. So, but I sat there and played around a bit for fun. I didn't even tune it. I didn't know what tuning the guitar was.
Wow.
So, no amplifier, electrical guitar. But I started playing a bit, and mom said, "Hey, you want to take some lessons?" I'm like, okay. When I was around 15, 16. So I had fucked around for a while then. Per Uno Undertun. He was a great guitar teacher, and I was so stunned by it. I fucking hated lessons. And since I've gotten my diagnoses, I can understand more why. I totally hated them because I couldn't focus. And he was like, okay, you're going to learn Burning Love, which I love that song with Elvis. And I started learning the chords a bit, but then I didn't really like it. It was too contrived for my brain, at least.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It was too, learn this. In 1 week, you were going to have to learn this. And I started asking him, like, could I learn some theory? Is this something we could fix with that? Give me a scale, something. And I just stopped going. Nothing wrong with him at all. He was incredible. But no, I didn't. And then let's see here. Yeah, in high school, I played, I didn't really play seriously for 10 years almost. I picked up the guitar every now and again and riffed some fucking Seek and Destroy, Master of Puppets, all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got an amplifier from my stepdad and mom and dad, 100-watt PV. And that was fucking killer. When I found out, one of my best friends who sadly passed away a few years ago, Martin, he taught me that I still can't remember if it's pre-gain or post-gain. Right. But he turned up, so it was like, is that how they do it? Because I played with no distortion. I played crunch, and I didn't know that. So when he turned that on, I was like, holy fucking shit! Now I got a riff. But then I played on and on. Then Terra came. But oh no, Jesus Christ, dude! I'm jumping. Hail Odin! I'm jumping. I was in 2 bands before Terra arrived. And one of those bands, I sang and played guitar. And they were called Nuclear Agony.
Oh, yeah.
Thrash. Yeah. And they now have a band called Armory, who are very beloved in Gothenburg. I know that, especially at a club called The Abyss. They are very beloved there. They have a song called Hisingen Warriors. Hisingen is an island here in Göteborg. So that's Armory. And they were on such above me in musicianship. And I think they didn't want me in anymore, which I wouldn't want me at 17 either, man. I didn't take it super seriously. So, and I was a punk there because I think they were going to say, yo, we really don't want you anymore. And I was like, I don't want to be in the band anymore.
Yeah. You can't fire me. I quit. Yeah.
Basically a punk move, man. But they were super nice. I still chat with them every now and again, at least with the drummer, August. And they're super, super cool band. They play live a lot, touring, Armory. And after that, I joined Insanity. And I sent you one of Insanity's gigs. And we really matched up. Although that's where I really sang live and shit. But I could never sing. I just shouted. And I became
thrash metal kind of vocals, right? Old school thrash sort of style.
And Burner was so fun. Do you know Exodus a lot? Like the singers?
So, yeah, somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, Paul Bailoff, the first singer.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people, maybe he couldn't sing, but he was a good frontman. So some people was like, "Hey, you're the
it.
Gothenburgian Paul Bailoff," and that was an honor to hear. You suck at singing, but you're pretty cool. But I remember one time there were a few guys who didn't want to have us on a gig because I couldn't sing. So Bernard sat me down like, "Yo, they don't want us on that gig because you can't sing, bro." And I was like, all right. It's cool, bro. I'm not even affected by it. And I was so sad. I was so sad. Dude, I went right to my...
It's a blow, isn't it, man?
It's a blow, but I tried to be like... And Bernard, of course, was like, well, then we won't take the gig. Fuck you. He's in the band. But I wanted to leave, of course. And it was still a hobby thing. I was like, dude, if people are saying that, why the fuck should I be here? You know?
It's gotta be tough.
But we played more then. But it was so typical being 17 and a metal guy with a bandana, long hair, black jeans, tank top. I was like, I don't care, bro. And right after I went to my girlfriend, like, can you imagine what they told me? I'm so upset.
Yeah, man.
I went right to my girlfriend at the time. It's Tara's mom. Right, we were together then.
Yeah.
I was so upset by that. But now I can connect that to now that I'm actually pretty happy with my voice.
Yeah.
Weird voice. Well, I learned it all myself. It's a false chord, I think. So yeah. But that was just a thing. We played with Insanity. I played with them for the longest I was ever in a band, and we're still best friends to this day since 2011. And they both, like I said, have bands. We all play, which is very cool. We all play some form of thrash because I play industrial thrash. Yeah. Werner has more of a death thrash modern vibe in Omnium, and Sonic Assault are like fucking cocaine speed freaks crossover cyberpunk thrash with Eric who played drums.
So
really it's super cool. Omnium, Sonic Assault, Mindistry, the Gothenburg 3. And you pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I dig that, man. Oh, really cool.
Sonic Assault had a fucking tour with Avatar.
Nice.
They opened for Avatar, in Sweden. That's pretty dope.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, Avatar probably played pretty big shows in Sweden, I'd have thought.
Oh, yeah. And now, actually, in a week, Omnium, Bernard's band, have their first gig here in Gothenburg at The Abyss.
Oh, wow. Are you going to go?
No, I am trying.
You're not into the
no,
social,
I am.
Thing, or...
But it's the mental health stuff. I don't know if I can... of course, I would love to see their first gig. It's just that there's a lot of people there, and how do you say that without sounding like an edgelord? I can't stomach most people.
No, I get you. Well, I guess it's the crowds as well, right?
And
I claustrophobic kind of.
Yeah, I would love to, but we'll see. Maybe the meds start kicking in. Maybe I'll go. But they have a gig, and that's fucking big. They're opening for... Well, it's a thrash band, I think. Yeah, they're called Eradicated.
Cool.
With a K, which means they're very self-aware. And they...
Extra thrash points.
Yeah, of course, I'm Mortal Kombat. And everything's a K. But Eradicated, I know they play a lot live as well. They're a younger crowd. I think they're around 2022. But they have good management. They play live a lot. I don't listen to it.
It's interesting, isn't it? This kind of resurgence that thrash has.
Yeah, what the fuck? Isn't that weird? Just this 80s vibe. Yeah. I think it's super weird, actually. It doesn't fit the mold at all today. With what's around.
I like what you're doing, and like you said about the other bandmates as well. Like you all have something thrash. You all have a twist on it.
I love that.
And industrial thrash, as you were saying earlier, it's pretty unique. There's not a lot of bands that are doing that. So I think that is cool. It makes sense. But as we're saying there, like there are a lot of bands popping up that are literally doing 80s thrash.
Anthrax.
Yeah,
they're literally that simple thrash. Not Omnium and Sonic Assault. That's the difference between them and Eradicated. I would say that Eradicated are more straightforward thrash. Omnium is more... Their first album is called Monument. And they're very monumental. Omnium is very big. It's big, epic death thrash. And Sonic Assault is more fucking crazy, you know.
They're so crazy, man. I listened to a little bit of both of them.
Omnium, dude. Though,
Omnium is really cool. Sonic Assault is like, Sonic Assault, the name is perfect because that's like
They've been
what
called
it
that
is.
for 10 years. When we played together in shows, they were Sonic Assault.
Damn.
Different lineup, but the same singer. His name is E. He's a really cool guy. Yeah, he has different bands as well. But Omnium, you heard them. It's big, right?
Yeah.
It's it destroys. Its Bernard is so good with riffs, and I don't like. You probably know and feel as well when you grew up with thrash. Maybe today you're not as keen on listening to it because you've heard it.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel at least. But Omnium I can listen to because it's bigger, not just because he's my friend. And I actually wrote the best part in the song they have. It's written by me in Insanity.
Really?
So I'm going to take full credit for that. He kept that in. It was a song originally called Penis Mosh.
Penis Mosh.
Yes. And the crowds loved that.
That's a great title.
It's a little death clock, right?
Yeah.
Wonder where they got that from.
Exactly.
No, but that's the journey, bro. And then after Insanity, I became a father, but we were still a band. But we didn't play live. What I can remember, and then it just, like I guess most teenage bands does, we just stopped playing. It wasn't because I became a father. I wouldn't say that. Maybe they have a different view of it, but then I didn't do any music.
Shift. Must have been a big shift though. Like you're like 19,
dude.
Right?
I was 18, 19, dude. From going to like playing shows with your best friends and having crazy parties, and then being a
18,
dad,
19-year-old.
Dude. It was the day I graduated from high school. Was when my girlfriend was like, "I'm pregnant." I'm like, "Yeah, life. Here we go, bro. Give me all you got." You know?
Wow.
I'm like, "Give me all you got, then." Let's go.
I mean, for me, becoming a father was such a massive shift, you know, and I was like 25, 26.
Yeah. Young too, man.
8, perhaps younger than some, but like 18, 19, like
it's early.
That must have been intense.
Well, it shaped me. I'm very fortunate it happened that way because I grew up being a father now. I didn't have to adapt into being a father. I evolved into a father with her, you know.
Good things for your character, for sure.
I hope so. And Tara's good. She's 10 now, man. I'm like, what the fuck? She just turned 10 and it's going good, you know. It's going good. And that was a shift. But I shit you not, I didn't do any music up until 2019. From 2013 to 2019, I didn't write I might have started writing a thing in 2017, maybe, but not really for something. And that's all the credit. That's why I wanted the producer here, Felix, because all credit to him that I started writing Mindistry. Him and Hulkov, actually. The guy in LOTR, because we had a short contact via mail. And he promoted me he coached me a little bit into like, you got to find your path, man. Like you have to do what you want to do. I can only help you with some stuff, you know, guiding, but you have to do your way. Because we talked about stuff. Yeah, but Felix said, you know, you have some music in you. Because I used to play keyboard a bit. You know, I play guitar every now and again at home. And he was like, hey, take my laptop with Guitar Pro and write something. I was like, what? I haven't never written a song. Like I've written riffs. I have ton of, but I have never constructed a fucking song. Huh. But I started fucking around with it. And then I upgraded to GarageBand. And then you're going to love this. I didn't have there's a special cable that you have for a game, I think, called Rocksmith.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have the USB there. So I can connect that and plug it into my iPad so I can record the guitar live and not MIDI the guitar.
Oh, the microphone from Rocksmith.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I plugged that into the iPad through my
video
Gibson
game microphone.
Yeah. That's how I write all the demos.
You still do that now? Or
Yep. Because I can't afford fucking Logic or a computer.
Wait, so you're recording a mic to your amplifier?
iPad. No, to iPad. And I use this plugins for GarageBand, like Bias FX.
Oh, but it's like a guitar lead type.
Yeah, exactly. So I sit like this, and I have a
Yeah.
wire, to the iPad, and I choose a cool sound, and I go. So the
Right.
only thing live is voice and guitar on the demos.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
I
only
see.
thing live. Everything else is MIDI. MIDI.
Now, when you talk about demos, I mean, you're obviously talking about writing Mindistry, but
Yeah.
you also post a lot of cool content, right, on your
Oh,
socials and stuff.
Now this is serious. Yeah, I do, and that's all GarageBand.
Yeah,
all of
sounds
that.
good, man.
No, it sounds fucking terrible, but it's what I have at the moment.
It sounds
It's
good
what I have.
considering.
All the vocals you hear there, I record with this gaming headset
Jesus.
with that microphone, and then I just fix some post.
Wow.
But that's the content creating part. That's what I was not aware of, and that's why I do it a lot. And that's just fun stuff. I don't post only Mindistry. I post, like you saw, a fucking DMX thing.
Yeah,
it's because
like
I think it's fun.
And
because I enjoy it. And it gets reach sometimes, and you might have some new fans because you'd have to like throw it out like a fucking bait. Like a lot of people like DMX, so I throw out a metal Limp Bizkit DMX. Maybe I hook some motherfucker in, and they see like, oh, a debut album. What is this?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh shit! I just spoiled the industry's biggest secret. How to get fans today.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's how you do it.
And without a record deal. And without 500K. Yeah. But that is, I'm gonna do a plan now with the re-release. I'm gonna record everything we do. Spread it out to some content, and follow one of those plans to get a wider release. Post something every day, from the release. Here's the studio. This week we're focusing on Blood Moon, Blue Tush. Here's how it looked in the studio. Here's how I wrote the lyrics, and post some of that every week until the release.
Cool.
So then it's going to be then it's not going to be, DMX fucking Conan metal. Then it's going to be focused on Mindistry. But now in the downtime, I love doing that, like Terminator metal.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, and I do you see the scenery? It's very shit, but at least I have myself there. And I have a background,
Yeah, for sure. That's what you need.
And it's what I can do. It's no budget. So that's it.
Yeah. Oh man, I think you do a great job with it. I think overall you're very humble about everything, but like I think you're doing a really cool job, man.
Humble or realistic? I don't know what you say.
Well, you're certainly doing it with a minimalistic setup, which is amusing. but I think considering, you make really great stuff, it's really entertaining, and you're regular with it, man, and consistent as well.
It's so fun that you say that because I haven't uploaded in forever. It's so fun that I have a plan.
It's consistent enough.
I think so. And I tried this thing once where I recorded 3-4 videos in a day.
Oh yeah.
Cut them up during the weekend. Dude, I loved that, but I have a hard time following it. But that's what you got to do. But I'm not an influencer either.
Yeah,
I'm doing it for Mindistry, so it's still. Yeah, I don't know. My producer does not like that I post stuff that are not Mindistry. He hates it.
Oh really?
But in my view, it's like, you need content today. In my mind,
I mean, oh man, 100%, and like.
But I get him as well.
It requires budget to work with, a producer and do a full album of proper stuff that you meticulously tracked. Like, in a way, that's why it can be good sometimes to have the more minimalistic setup. Like, you're just thinking, look, this is just an iPad, GarageBand, just a whatever mic. But you are able to get out a lot of cool music and engaging
content.
Yeah, and if anything, maybe sometimes having all the options in the world and having a studio at your disposal makes it kind of increases that barrier. Everything becomes sort of like, it could. It's all down to the mindset, right?
But dude, if I had a Mac and a fucking Logic and a sound card, I would rule the world by now. That's all I'm going to say. If I could release how I want to with my production and having the mix master, Gustaf Hammarin, if I could do that from home, dude, Metallica would be opening for me now. That's okay. But I have an iPad. So, yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Are you planning on upgrading the setup anytime soon? Or
if I could, I'd do it yesterday. because I really want Logic and I really want the Mac and I really want the better guitar. But like I said earlier, I hinted at, mental illness, and I haven't had a real job for I left / got fired in, it was a planned firing. It was like, okay, we'll do this.
Yeah.
A year now I've been officially unemployed and on sick leave equals musician, right?
Yeah, that's
unemployed, on sick leave, musician.
Yeah, there we go. Sounds about right, man.
It's like a wrestling self-demeaning promo, what we're doing now. If I had the means, man, I would have released album 2 by now. I can say that. But I can't. It's coming, though. Every demo is written for it.
We'll get there, man. Yeah.
We have the demos. I have demos for album 3, man. I'm working on demos for album 4. They're all done for album 2.
That's awesome.
We decided the songs. Yeah. We just need to record it. That's all. Isn't that cool? Yeah. That's what I've done this time. My downtime in 4 years.
I mean, really cool. Yeah. Like that's really productive, man. Which is
it's
awesome.
what I did to survive, man. Except my child, which of course helps you survive. You also, at least in my mind, you need something. You can't just, like I did with, and that's partly why to get really personal. Can I just wait a minute? Oh shit, my Red Bull's running out. It's going to be a fight here. No, but to be really personal, some relationships I had, sexual relationships, what the fuck, dude? I can't find the word.
Romantic,
sexual relations. Holy shit! Maybe that's the name of the re-release. Sexual relations. To get a little more
makes me think of Bill Clinton.
Yeah. Oh shit! Now we're definitely shut down, man.
Yeah.
Now we're done.
All right. Yeah. Let's roll over, man. No, please continue.
Should I say Epstein?
No. Let's leave it. Let's leave that part right there.
No, but romantic relationships I've had, they literally failed because I didn't realize it at the time, and I was younger, but I didn't have anything. I didn't have any ambition. I survived as being a dad, working, and some relationships especially, because that's all I can like. I didn't lose any friends over my lifetime, really. So, but it's relationships. It caused that to end, I think, because I didn't aim at anything for about, maybe up until 2019, really.
So you felt like you were just sort of going through the motions, just working.
Going through the motions, drinking way too much, drinking way too much.
Yeah.
Never when I was with my kid, though. I never drank at home, but I drank at bars after work.
Yeah.
Because, we had split, that we have split custody.
Right.
Yeah. So, but when I was a dad, but I didn't have any personal ambition. I raised her right. She's great. But I just gamed at the evenings, took long walks, gamed, watched movies. That's nothing. That's what I now hate. Really, I have a strong conviction towards that lifestyle. And I talk a lot to people, not to be on a fucking high horse here, but if I helped some, I can't name them, of course, but I talked to some of my colleagues when I worked, and I told her, like, what do you want to do? Like, do you work? What do you do when you're not working? Because I found my passion, and that's what's driving me forward. And she wanted to do knitting, just this little thing, and she didn't have time for it due to personal reasons. And I really tried to convince her to talk with her husband about, but make him take the kids some so that you can knit. If you really want to knit, you have to compromise. Because I can tell you how I was before my passion. You know what I mean. Mm-hmm. So I spread chaos at my recent work because I told everybody, don't work full time. Work 75 or 50 and do what you want to do. And it's chaos.
Yeah.
Give people some hope and the work is fucked, right? Make them appreciate life a little more instead of working 100% and going to sleep when you get home.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I spread chaos. Hopeful chaos. But I realize that now when I have this passion, like, holy shit, that would, if everyone just well, help each other a little more. If everyone, to be biblical, look at your neighbor. I don't know. Look at how people are doing in your neighborhood. Follow what you want. I think everything would be better. I had a lot of those thoughts recently since I started Mindistry. And I said that in a recent interview I had. It's not out yet, but he asked like, what would you want with Mindistry? And I thought about that. Like, okay, I don't want fame. That's not what I'm after at all. Not at all. What I would want is, say, a left-leaning person and a right-leaning person both have Mindistry shirts on. Mm-hmm. And they start talking to each other because, hey, I fucking love that song. That is what I would like, to bring people together. I won't get political at all, but that's all I'm going to say. I would like that because I feel such a divide. And that's an afterthought of Mindistry. Maybe music can bring some people together. That would be a dream come true. Mm-hmm. I would love that.
Amazing. I love that, man. I love that. That's a real cause.
It feels real, right? Because then you feel the divide when you think about it. And I would love for that to happen.
So, I mean, you say, again, we obviously don't need to get too much into the details of politics, but you say about left-leaning, right-leaning, and it's just that sense of like polarization that feels like it is increasing. It's.
I feel it's destroying a lot wherever you are. At least in this,
like social media and stuff, like online, it's got a lot of benefits, obviously. But I think in a way it amplifies this kind of thing, right? Because it feels as if everybody has to have an opinion and everyone has to stand for something. And you kind of join your righteous cause. And
if you don't show, without saying what it is, if you do not openly show what you are against, you're by default a bad person. And that's what I can't stand, because then
it's the extremist polarization thing. If you're not with us, you're against us, basically.
Yes. But in Sweden here, I barely notice it. It's loud assholes. I have Twitter, but I never use it, thankfully. But those people I noticed that talk politically in real life are, first off, older people, from my experiences, because the young people and I could talk quite a bit. But it's a lot of loud people. I think Mike Tyson said something good. Did you hear that quote he said about social media?
Eventually.
Mike Tyson. Yeah, he was like, people got way too comfortable with being, what do you say? Oh my God, I can't figure out the word now. Fuck. They become way too comfortable with being an asshole without being punched in the face. And I like that. Because if you see someone who posts a lot and then you talk to them, you realize that they are people too. And they most likely won't say what they write in real life. Because when there is a person, a physical person in front of you, when you can see their eyes, there's a threat. There's an immediate threat of retaliation, whatever you say. And a lot of people I noticed don't fucking say shit when you write in front of them.
That keyboard warrior type thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and that is bigger than ever. It has to be. They're loud as fuck. But joining left and right, that's not what I mean either. I mean people from all sides.
I'm with you. No,
I don't give a fuck what you are, just don't hurt people if you don't, I really couldn't care less if you listen or not. Like, as long extremism is not good, of course. I think we can all agree on that. But if you're left or right, you have a Mindistry shirt on, maybe a Mindistry bag that is coming soon to a shop near you. If you have that, and you're like, oh, you listen to Mindistry, like, talk about that.
Yeah.
Or maybe if I do a cool video that I'm aiming to do very soon, music videos, I'll see what I can do. And they can be like, oh, did you see that fucking samurai cowboy shit? Like, yeah, that was cool. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah, that would be a real step towards something that is not bullshit with like fame, money.
That's it, man. But dude, that's it. That's what it's all about. And it comes back to that community thing again. But that's what we're doing right now, right? You and I, we've chatted about cool movies, cool music, life, and we haven't really spoken about politics at all. Like, who knows? Maybe we have massive disagreements about things or whatever. But I think that I don't think so either. But I think the core value is there, which is the most important thing, which is that we both think that, we both have that sense of respect and wanting to kind of bring people together, and I think that's a
amazing.
thing.
This is the power, and then it's so hard too with the polarization, because when you're young, you want to feel needed, and you want a place to stay. What do you say? You want companionship.
Well, yeah.
And it gets bad for many people.
I think as well, people maybe now more than ever, or maybe not. It feels like there's this sense of like needing to have a purpose, right? That a lot of people.
That's what I meant.
With.
Yes, purpose, and that can be so used by certain people in certain groups, whether it's left or right. It can be used when you're feeling lost.
I think that, I don't know about you, but like, I feel like I struggled with that definitely whilst I was younger, and I see a lot of people struggling with that now. And I kind of think that probably the biggest lesson that I found is to actually just enjoy the simple things more. Just enjoy day-to-day life and being here in the moment, rather than feeling like, I don't know, you have to have this great impact or this huge purpose
Change
or whatever.
The world,
because
man.
Exactly, man. Yeah, exactly. They say change the world by changing yourself, right? And I think changing your perspective in that way is one of the best things you can do for yourself, because then once you've just like become comfortable in living in the moment and just enjoying your day-to-day kind of flow, then the picture will start to kind of present itself.
Sure.
And as you say, if you find your passion, or just things that you're passionate about, just things that you enjoy, whatever. Again, it's not to judge against somebody else. You said about a friend that wanted to do knitting, right?
Yes.
Knitting by itself, it seems like such a kind of simple thing, but that is something that can bring you joy. It's something that you can just focus on and just be like, oh, I'm just going to make a nice thing. And that's it. There doesn't have to be a like how valuable this is compared to somebody else's massive impact or whatever.
Dude, again, I'm sorry. Wait, I'm so sorry. My headset died.
Go for it.
And like I said, if I had a fucking computer here, William, if I had what I need, I would be producing music videos right now for to really shape something cool, to really spark it up, make a fucking nuke in the scene. A Viking nuke.
I'm sure that you're going to get there, brother. I think you're doing a great job already. So
thank you. Likewise, we have big things coming, right? Should we talk about that or not?
What do you want to talk about? I mean, we got plenty of cool things coming. Oh, LovAnaverse. Oh, 100%, man.
There's some big shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh, dude, we're gonna have a lot of fun for sure, man. Like, obviously, I've been chatting about stuff. Yeah, I think that we can create some really cool stuff, man. Some really fun things.
Yeah, and I haven't said it publicly that I am with you now, that we might do some cool stuff together. And, as a comic book fan since day one, this is the coolest thing ever, to maybe have a Mindistry character on your roster.
Nice.
That is, dude, really, dude, the thing you do, and that you invited me to this, of course it could flop on its ass, everything, but assuming it doesn't, this is changing some stuff. It hasn't really been done in the way you do, right? Which is, dude, you're doing something new. How the fuck can you do something new today? And you and your beautiful wife and your loving son are doing it.
Oh, thank you,
man. Dude, we're talking Anakin Skywalker killing all the Jedi, shaping a new world, bringing balance to the Force. That's what we're talking about here. It's a new way.
I think I'd probably like to be more on the Luke or the Yoda side of things.
We can say Luke.
Killing all the younglings, but certainly
that's actually the plan. Which I got from your message, like, hello there.
The secret Order 66.
It's to kill all the other musicians, so that we are the only ones left.
Yeah, if we all gang up together, then we'll be able to. What did you say? Like a Viking nuke? Yeah, that would be the trick.
It's a Viking nuke. I have no idea what it is. but it's big and it kills people very efficiently.
Perfect, man. Yeah, sounds like nailed it here. No, I appreciate that, man.
Kudos, because I'm blessed to might get to work with you. It's a blessing for me. Just wanted to say that publicly. I haven't wanted to say it in the chat. I wanted to say it here on the bad headset. Keeping it real.
Dude, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. But dude, it's so mutual, and that's what the whole thing is about, really. You know, it's for me. I just wanted to start a cool thing that we can all do together. You know, I've never really wanted it to just be like my thing or like, you know what I mean? I guess I just always felt so passionately about this exact same thing that you've spoken about, which is, you know, community and camaraderie. And I've always loved music and it's always been a very personal thing for me. But I really feel like, you know, it's lonely doing it in a vacuum. You know what I mean? Like, I always, like you, wanted those friends, those companions, bandmates, whatever it is to do this with, you know? And I think that just adds so much more to the experience and just to our overall quality of day-to-day life.
I talked with one of our fellow Grey Jedi on the Discord, and he might have already scored an interview. I recommended some stuff, and I can't remember his name. He's in the Arkan.
Tales of Arkan, Eric.
Tales of Arkan. Yeah. We talked. I called him, and I said, "What are you doing, brother?" And he said, "Listen here, brother. I'm gonna tell you all." We started talking like that. I was macho man. No, but I said, "You're gonna release something soon?" And he said, "Yeah, I have a thing coming out." And I said, "Okay, then I might be able to help you with getting because I know some people now, and it worked. He might have an interview. So yeah, we're already helping each other on the community front."
Perfect. Dude, that's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. Like, and yeah, we're all getting to know each other. We're getting to know other people. We can, you know, bring people into that cross those streams, and especially stuff like that, you know, kind of more press orientated things like promo. Yeah, man. Like it just, it helps a lot, man.
It's just one big problem in this modern world. You don't fill the quota. We haven't filled the quota of man and woman. It's a fucking sausage fest in our Discord.
Dude, yeah. I mean, those exact words is what have been very prevalent in my mind right now. For sure.
I'm kidding, of course. You know, I'm kidding.
We have to work on that.
But I wanted to say too,
it's just how it's naturally fallen with who's involved right now. But
which it should be. Right?
There are some great, for sure. That's the most important thing. But there are some awesome, you know, women in the scene and who are, you know, involved with this, and absolutely, obviously, hope for only more of them to come join us. Of course, she's particularly awesome.
But do that brand new day song. Wisdom
I'm
will
glad
come
you like
with
that.
the scars on your face. It's so good, man. And it fits that Ishin like a dragon. Gjorde måste säga son. Gaijin son. Yeah, it fits, but it's such an honor to be, you know, that beautiful email you sent me, to have a formal invitation to be part of this new world order in music. No, but really, it's I can't wait. Maybe I should say that we're talking about a dwarf character or some form of cyborg. I have
some
thought
kind
about
of mix of that. Yeah.
I've thought about 5 actually. And they're all going to have a song and a character background, and they're going to be a team of cyborgs, and they're all going to have an introductory song, which leads to collabs with different people. And that's a little bit, you know, it's going to be Mindistry, of course, but not on an album, maybe. Maybe it's going to be a little different, but it's still me. That's one idea I had with the Outer Worlds, and I can't remember what it's called. The cyborg world in LovAnaverse. What's it called?
Yeah, it's called the Star Hive.
Yes, the Star Hive. And I had this story about some warriors from different timelines being put together and being made better. And then something, like I wrote in the Discord, something rolls down a hill and it blows up and they're free. Maybe, I don't know. So it's a band of unruly cyborgs Indian.
That's yeah.
I have a story.
Perfect, man.
Yeah, because then I can have a cowboy song, a samurai song, a dwarf song without having to force it.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
I love that.
So I thought about it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. This stuff is so cool. Like, well, for me, that's just my favorite thing. Like,
isn't that cool? Yeah.
We get to hang out and we get to just mix all of these things from music to, you know, the movies and the comics and, you know, all of these pop culture kind of references. We just get to hang out and make cool stuff. For me, that's the life, you know?
And maybe I'm overly ambitious, but that is a plan. That's what I thought first. It's going to be a gang. Yeah. You know, a cowboy, a samurai, a dwarf, and a Native American, maybe. And they're all connected via this lab. Like Weapon X Wolverine, when they make them something better. Maybe. We'll see. But that's what, official. Overly ambitious as usual.
Yeah. Likewise. We're a good pairing for...
we're going to do Death Star. It's coming. We're building the Death Star.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude, it's gonna be so cool, man. So much exciting stuff. Dude, it's so good to have you as a part of the community, man. Like, I just knew the moment that we met, I just gauged it straight away, like that you got just that kind of spirit, you know, and that's what it's all about, man.
There's some really cool people in. I'm not gonna say, of course, but we've connected a lot. And I like to do the formal introductions when someone enters the group. It's very important.
Dude, it's so good. Yeah.
Welcome into the fray of steel. Yet another day rises, you know. Another band joins. It's fun.
Yes.
It's fun.
You have a wicked way with words on.
Stop it.
On those, man. I love that.
Everyone can do it. I'm just dumb enough to actually write it.
Oh man, it's always so fun. Like, everybody knows. Like, I mean, people, because again, anybody listening to this, right? It's your style. Like, people should come and reach out to you. You know, go and follow Mindistry on Instagram or wherever, and then like just talk to you. And I just know that practically every message I get from you is always fun, entertaining. You know, and you're always chatting with this way. Hello, my brothers of steel.
My brothers of steel and sisters of iron. This is from Mindistry HQ. It's cool, but it's also important to be. But I like that, you know, and I really don't like talking about myself in the way of I like helping people, because then I don't feel it's genuine if I say that.
Yeah, for sure.
I am the type of person who likes to help people. I don't want to say, I would never say that, but I like when things are good around me. Maybe that's better to say. I like when, if we talk, I would like you to be happy.
Yeah, to have a positive exchange for sure, man.
Yeah, maybe be a positive force, like I know you are, and like I know my brother Sed, who has Veckans Band Metal Radio here in Sweden. Is such a positive force. And that's what I really like. It's fun having those fun exchanges, and it's a bit of mockery because I don't go around doing I haven't done that for 10 years. I haven't thrown up this in 10 years because it's not me. You know, I hate AC/DC. I hate Guns N' Roses. I don't do metal signs. It's very niche. I am niche. I don't fit this. Yeah. I don't know. A sociopathic narcissist. Maybe that's the best way to... No, I don't think so. But write me. Follow Mindistry. And stay tuned, brothers, because we're taking over. Sisters as well. Re-release in English.
Yeah.
Merch coming soon.
Awesome, man.
Actually, merch coming soon. It's not a joke. I'm working with a wonderful person named C, and she liked Mindistry, so she's making some cool stuff.
Wow.
So soon you will, firstly in Sweden, of course, you will be able to support Mindistry that way.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. Yeah, so the
and you'll get a package, by the way.
All right. Didn't I already receive one? I need to check it.
No, but that's the mail bomb.
Yeah,
you were going to open that on live, but it's still... Is your family home now? Are they home?
No, they're still out.
Oh, then you can open it. Because they can't be home when you open it. I'm not that bad.
The mail bomb. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. So the mail bomb first and then a merch package later.
Yeah, it's the Ted Kaczynski. Yeah, maybe it was the wrong order. You know, the Unabomber. Yeah, Ted Kaczynski. Fuck yeah. What a dude. Okay, but Mindistry. It's a fun project. People seem to like it. And I enjoy doing it.
Man. Yeah. Industrial thrash. We got the album in Swedish, English translation coming up. You got tons of material for future releases.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, you're regularly posting just like cool content where you're doing musical versions of all kinds of things.
Yep.
Which is really fun.
DMX, Terminator, Aladdin.
Aladdin, that was a cool one. Yeah. And you're, just a really friendly guy that people can reach out to, man. So
well, thank you.
Yeah.
Likewise. I try to be better, to quote Spider-Man 2, I love the way he says that. He's like, how are you? I'm trying to do better. I like that quote. Nice. I'm really trying.
Quote, man. That's it. That's all we can do, man. We all keep trying and we'd be better than our previous selves, man. That's
at least try to not make it worse. That's, that's something to aim at. Try not to make tomorrow worse than it is today. However, you can do that.
Easily, man.
It's a little Jordan Peterson. We're going into, what's his name? Slavoj Žižek and Jordan Peterson. Yeah. Thank you for the time.
Dude, absolute pleasure, man.
Thank you so much.
It's always so fun to chat. Is there anything else that you want to get in there, like before we sign off?
Hail Satan, fuck Guns N' Roses, drink Red Bull. I don't know. Thank you for the time, William. And thank your family for supporting you. And if you want to, check out Mindistry. There's a lot of good music out there, but Mindistry can maybe catch your ear. So, yeah, if you already know me, thanks for checking in. If you see William on the street, give him a big hug from me.
Yeah, man. Cheers. Likewise.
That.
Dude, absolute pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Creating a Universe. Special thanks to Gustaf for joining me. I really enjoyed this long-awaited chat. Be sure to check out Gustaf's links for Mindistry at linktr.ee/Mindistry official. Links will be in the show notes. That's all for this one. Until next time, take care.